What is going on, guys? It is Livid Fray. Hope you guys are all doing very well today, and welcome back to another episode of Just the Good Stuff, where I show you only the good stuff from the vendor restocks each week. We are going to start off inside the terminal as we usually do, but we are going to start right away with the blueprints because there is nothing else inside the terminal this week that I'm recommending, so we're just going to start right away with the blueprints. Now, keep in mind for the blueprints, you guys should just be buying whatever you think you would personally be using. I do have a separate blueprint video for this that I just uploaded today, so I will be linking that in the description below if you guys need some extra guidance on blueprints. Our first blueprint's going to be the red small grip. This is going to be the highest grip that we have for critical hit damage. Make sure you buy this if you don't have it just yet. Additionally, we have the loud vent brake for sale this week. Now, keep in mind this is a power level 33 item. It is still going to be the best opportunity to get a critical hit damage muzzle because it does not go any higher than power level 33. And like I said, there is nothing else inside the terminal that I'm recommending, so I'm just heading right over to the base of operations, over to the Dark Zone vendor located in the security wing. This vendor is going to be selling some Savage Gloves for us this week. We have 1210 for the main stat, as well as assault rifle damage, critical hit damage with health on kill. You can just swap over health on kill to critical hit chance, and these will work perfect for any kind of PvP builds that you have in mind. Now we are heading over to Camp Clinton. First, we will check out the blueprints that are for sale here. Our first blueprint at this location is going to be the 5.52 Hollow Sight blueprint. I always recommend these for your assault rifles, for any kind of PvP build, really. You could also use this for Predator, but arguably you'll want like a red dot sight for that instead. Additionally, we have the VX1 scope here. This is the highest that the VX1 scope will go, to power level 33, so make sure you guys pick this up if you do not have this already. It is a really good blueprint to have. Now that we're here inside Camp Clinton, we're going to check out the vendor over here. This vendor does have an Omega rifle suppressor for us this week at 18% with critical hit chance and optimal range. Now there are 3 different Omega rifle suppressors to choose from this week, and instead of viewing them individually, I'm just going to show them side by side so you guys can have a better idea of which one you guys would be more interested in buying. Now, the options that we have are going to be at this vendor, as well as the Dark Zone East 34th Street vendor and the Dark Zone West 31st Street vendor. So just to give you guys an idea, the Camp Clinton headshot muzzle is going to have the highest headshot damage at 18%. So whichever one you choose, 18% is going to be the highest. But this one does have critical hit chance and optimal range. Not that optimal range is bad by any means. However, usually, ideally, people would want critical hit chance and damage with this. So if you are looking for something like that, the one that's located on East 34th does have 17.5% with maxed out critical hit damage. And we're missing a 0.5% max of critical hit chance with 50% reduced threat. Our next option is going to be maxed out on critical hit chance and damage, but we are going to be missing 1% of headshot damage. So I'm kind of giving you guys a pick your poison opportunity. I personally think that the one inside Camp Clinton is going to be a better bang for your buck because it's Phoenix credits instead of Dark Zone credits, but I'm going to leave this up to you. They are all very good. The headshot damage one with max critical hit chance and damage is also really good, even though it has the lowest headshot damage number. I'm just going to leave this up to you. You guys can go ahead and pick your poison, but that's going to have 3 items for this week's vendor reset that I'm recommending. So with that being said, our next stop is going to be East 64th Street in the Dark Zone. This vendor is going to be selling a stamina mod on 261 stamina with 1% critical hit chance. These are perfect to be throwing on your Predator's Mark builds or really any kind of PvP build where you're utilizing critical hit. Now, like I mentioned, the East 34th Street vendor does have one of those Omega rifle suppressors that you can take a look at, but otherwise we're going to skip down to East 31st. This vendor does have a 4% Seeker Mine damage mod. I don't ideally recommend using your Dark Zone credits for these mods because we get them a fair decent amount at other vendors, or you can also just craft these and get pretty lucky with getting them. But you can purchase these if you don't have these. I would definitely recommend throwing these on any kind of tactician build where you are utilizing the Relentless backpack, because the more damage that your Seeker Mines do, the more healing you're going to get in return with Relentless. So make sure you pick these up if you don't have these just yet for those builds. Also, while you're here, make sure you pick up this High Velocity magazine for your Lone Star builds. This is a really, really good magazine for this. It has maxed out critical hit chance and damage, as well as magazine size. These work out very, very well with your MG5s for PvP Lone Stars, so make sure you pick these up if it's something that you're interested in getting. The next stop is going to be DZ 5th Avenue. This vendor does actually have a really decent carbine for sale with Deadly, Competent, and Cool-Headed. Now you can roll off Deadly here for Talented, and this would work out very well with any kind of Tactician builds, Reclaimer builds, anything where you're using like a high electronics. this would work out really well. It doesn't have Determined, but it does have Cool-Headed, which may actually work out more in your favor. Additionally, we have a 2% pulse critical hit damage mod here. This is another one that I don't usually recommend buying with Darkstone credits, but if you don't have it, they are really nice to have. Keep in mind, again, that they only work for solo builds. They don't work out for your teammates, unfortunately, even if you are a support build. So I would recommend something along the lines of Ally Heal for a support build. And then again, make sure you visit West 31st Street to check out that third Omega that's for sale. Pick your poison on that one of those three. They are all very good options. Just pick which one you prefer. That is going to be everything for this week's vendor reset. Another not so great one. It's another one without damage to elite mods. I think we're going on maybe 3 or 4 weeks now without damage to elite mods. This is really unfortunate, but we do have next week to look forward to. Hopefully that there's something this week that you guys will be picking up. I do greatly appreciate you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you later.
Can't believe the bullshit that went down in the dark zone at the end there.
I know. We had it. Everything I told them was dead on. They made us pull out anyway.
And we left our dead behind.
Yeah, we're not supposed to do that. Hang on a second.